welcome back. Hey, first off, I'm gonna derail us. Look, it's Mountain Dew, Voodoo 2024. We're gonna test it real quick. There you go. Ooh.
It looks purple. It smells purple.
It's a very strong. I mean, it's not bad. It's just very strong. I'm trying to figure out what that taste is.
It needs more bubbles.
Yeah.
It feels flat.
Yeah. That taste, it's... Reminds me of, like, is it Pink Starburst?
Kinda.
Pink Starburst?
I feel like they've done Starburst
I feel like they have before.
Mm-hmm. They were like red Starburst. Now it's the pink Starburst.
No, that's still Pink Starburst. So they might have like just been like, we got a formula now.
I'll say that.
They were like, how many flavors can we actually do? You know,
Yeah.
we'll do banana and we'll just ruin the whole thing.
Dog shit.
So yeah, that's Mountain Dew Voodoo 2024. Okay, so here it is.
Event Horizon. Woo, woo, woo. Its name, Event Horizon, the high-tech, pioneering research spacecraft mysteriously vanished without a trace on its maiden voyage 7 years earlier. But a weak, WEAK, persistent signal from the long-missing craft prompts a rescue team headed by the intrepid Captain Miller. Blade. Just kidding. Lawrence Fishburne, to wing its way through the galaxy on a bold rescue mission. Accompanying Miller is his elite crew and the lost ship's designer, Pierce Brosnan, Sam Neill, and their mission is to find and salvage the state-of-the-art spacecraft. What they uncover is state-of-the-art interstellar horror. Bound to electrify and terrify is Event Horizon, the unforgettable sci-fi motion picture. Kathleen Quinlan and Joey Richardson also star in this gripping sci-fi thriller.
And if Katie knew which characters they played in the movie, she would make up a fake name for them as well, like Uma Thurman. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know.
He was getting so mad because every time that the one guy came up, I was like, Pierce needs to stop doing this.
And I was like, who the hell are you talking about? She's like, that guy. I was like, I didn't know I didn't remember his name off the top of my head, but I was like, that's Dr. Grant. That's Dr. Grant. It's like, no, it's Pierce Brosnan. It's like, anywho.
007.
Okay, so here's the first thing I'll say. These guys were really up their own ass about the special effects.
Mm-hmm.
Like the CGI that they used at the beginning with like all the floating stuff, it was like, bro, we get it, move on. And
it looks like it was 1997.
Is that what yeah.
They were, you know, this was state of the art, cutting edge.
But it was
for 1997.
It was just like you didn't need to however much time you spent on the CGI for this, you should have had less scenes with that.
Yeah.
Just it's like just shots of things floating around and it's like, all right, great, got it. So I will say, if you are thinking about watching this, I would suggest you watch these movies instead. Here's several movies I would say. Because I feel like it pulled from a bunch of movies, but it wasn't put together enough to actually like take what makes those movies so great. So I think it took Alien, and I think, you know, obviously with, you know, the space Alien, 13 Ghosts. Have you seen that one yet?
I think I have, but
with Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, but I don't know what about 13 Ghosts. I mean, obviously
the demonic
Alien.
Summoning of evil and stuff. Like there's a core to it, and it's like the whole house is alive. The weapon is alive. Whatever. Like it's and it's set up like a haunted house. 13 Ghosts is much better movie than this one. So
Alien, 13 Ghosts.
13 Ghosts. Hellraiser.
Yes.
Hellraiser. It's Hellraiser
Yes.
all over it.
Yes. You just like watching and you're like, why are there spikes everywhere?
Yeah, it's
why
like
are there bondage chains?
Dr.
everywhere?
Grant was getting freaky when he was making this thing. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's the aesthetic. Can we get a doorway
Shaped
and
like a
corridor
coffin."
to be shaped like a coffin?"
Yeah.
Also, were all those panels in there? Was that all circuitry?
No, I think it was just the one.
That whole thing was just a green. We just got this big ass long green tunnel, and we put one circuit board in there. I thought it was circuit boards all over the place, but either way, that was very odd. Some of the aesthetic choices were good, but it is like they're jumping around so much, and by the time we actually see the creatures and stuff, like the effects, it's very short.
I mean, so things I liked about the movie was that you didn't really need to watch. Like, you didn't really... I mean, okay,
You kind of knew what was going on.
Yeah, like, the first half an hour of the film, we were just shooting the shit and didn't really miss anything.
Yeah.
You know? And then, the other thing I appreciated was, after the first... Probably wasn't even half an hour. It's probably maybe like 15 or 20 minutes. It's just like boom, 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 nonstop. Like stuff's happening.
Oh yeah.
I appreciated that. One thing I did not like though is that it did not, for me, make any sense. Like.
Oh, okay. So look, let me explain this to you, honey. It's just about space travel, okay? You normally go this way, but this way you fold it and you go all the way through, and that's what it was. But when you go through, there's this in between spot, and that's hell. That's where they went. They went to hell.
The part that I don't understand. There's several parts that I don't understand, but the big part that bothers me is he said. There was something that was like when the gravity drive was activated, that's when the ship became alive. Like after she went through the wormhole or whatever that she created, that's when she came back alive. But I don't understand because Pierce seemed like he was evil from the beginning. So, like, when did he get infected? If the ship wasn't infected until before, like, until after she goes through the wormhole, but he wasn't part of, like, the original crew that went on its maiden voyage, which also doesn't make sense. If he was the main architect, why is he not on the original crew of the maiden voyage? And then...
Why isn't...
Also, how does his wife tie back into this? Was she on the crew of the maiden voyage? Did we miss that part when we were shooting the shit at the beginning of the movie? I don't know.
So I think he was obsessed, and now he either was obsessed because he got the drive to function, and it showed him the black hole, and that's what's making everyone crazy when they see the black hole, or it's just his hubris of like he made this thing and it's like it's so important, it's his whole life, because technically he ignored his wife to the point where she
but
this is all he has.
He was having visions of her akin to the visions that the blonde was having at the end of the movie after they thought that they escaped. So but he was having visions of the wife before they even got to the event horizon. So that makes me feel like he's like infected even before they had, gotten there. So if you're saying that he got infected even before the movie began and has been infected this whole time, then why wouldn't he make sure that he was on the maiden voyage? Why would he let it leave? Like, and also... It just, I mean, and I see what you're saying. I get it, but I am very upset that the movie didn't lay it out more clearly for me. I don't like that. Like, we could speculate about it all day, but I want to know what they were fucking thinking. They were thinking.
Potty mouth.
I'll have to bleep that in post. What they were thinking, because because you know how sometimes they can leave it unsaid, but like you have a pretty good idea of what they meant. I feel like I don't have a pretty good idea of what they meant.
I feel like I don't care. You know, like realistically, they went to Demon World and then they went out of Demon World, and that's all I'm gonna get. That's all I'm gonna get, and it made them all demons. And the only way you could have made that movie better is if at the end of the movie, when everything goes awry, you see the Lamnet configuration. And then it's like, oh my god, all this ties to the Cenobite universe. That would have been like the Marvel Sting of that time. You know?
Would have been good. That would have been good.
And then you could have been like, oh well, I give Event Horizon a pass because it's part of the Hellraiser, you know, universe. It's not really great, but you know, it's still here.
We do gotta give props to Blade though.
Lawrence Fishburne.
He was really good.
He was really good. And I don't think they applauded him enough for the way he tried to save. Saved Mr. Justin, which was also very off-putting and very weird. Like, is his last name Justin? Is his last name Justin, or do they just call like Bear
Justin?
Yeah, like I used to get my one friend Jules would call me Baby Bieber, and like so it's like if you're just. Because he remembered my name as Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Bieber at the time, you know, was popular. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Mr. Justin was driving me nuts the whole time. Because I'm like, is that his last name, or are you just like condescending? Or whatever, right?
They're condescending.
Right? That's what I...
Anyways.
I'm over
Tell him about the save.
Oh, he's pulling himself through this one part on top of the ship, and then he's like, all right, now this is why they got him for the Matrix, because he nailed this.
Did so
he's
good.
He's like giving explanations to, or giving instructions to like Mr. Justin about it. He's like, all right, I need you to tuck into a ball, get all the air out of your lungs.
Justin is like possessed by this.
Well, he was, and then as soon as shit goes real,
machine,
then he's like, oh no.
Well, but he's possessed at the beginning by the anti-gravity machine or whatever it is, the wormhole maker, the Cenobite thing, and
the gravity drive. How do you not know that it's called that gravity drive?
It. I don't know any of their names, so I mean. Like...
I don't either. We just called them names from other shows.
So, anyways, so that makes him go, and he wants to go outside of the ship with no clothes on. Not with no clothes on.
He has no
space
suit or whatever. Yeah.
And then he says, airlock open, and then there's a 30-second delay, and then that's when the demon unpossesses him. And everybody's like, we can't save him! The airlock, the door won't open on the inside when the outside door is activated. Then in comes Blade to save the day. He talks him through the whole thing, and then...
It's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts.
What's
You're doing it right now. So bad.
Wait, not... Oh, sorry.
God damn it.
I didn't even realize I did it that time.
Okay, so Lawrence Fishburne's character, he is going, and then he's like telling this kid, he's like, tuck and roll, and get ready to jump, or whatever. And basically, he like flips around and flies into the thing, grabs him, and saves him. And like the guy lives through all that, and it was just like, it's amazing. It was like, oh my god. And then the next scene, they're just kind of like sitting there talking. It's like, bro, no congratulations scene, or like, what? That was fucking impressive. It's like they just expect it from him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I would have liked to see some more praise of Lawrence Fishburne instead of CGI floating objects.
Yes.
I will give this movie 1 pumpkin out of 5.
That's not a bad rating. We gotta talk about Cooper, though. I appreciate that Cooper... that was the character's actual name. I remember that.
There you go.
He was good. He somehow, the ship exploded while he was like, on the outside of it, like, fixing something. And then he, like, gets blasted off into, like, space on this piece of ship, and he's like, I gotta let my
Oh man, I gotta blow out my oxygen. I gotta get out of here.
yeah.
He instantly blows it and goes and flies in the general direction
Flies
of.
back to Neptune and reunites with the ship. Like, and then he's on the outside of the Event Horizon ship on the windshield when the crazy Pierce
Shoots him with a really cool drill gun. Because as soon as you saw how that drill gun worked, you're like, that's definitely going to be used to kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like when he's like, oh, watch out for those explosives there. Technically, if anything goes wrong, we'd blow these explosives. So then, separated from the lifeboat, and this is where the gravity drive is.
Yeah. But
that information won't be necessary later.
yeah, but through all that, somehow Cooper survives.
Oh, Katie's favorite part, which like the amount of excitement and joy she got, I thought she figured out the movie itself. Like she was like,
so
I have clarity. I finally see now. But it was that she found that there's a hook. There's
a part in there that is sampled in a bunch of like EDM songs, like hardcore or trance or whatever, and the line is, "You ever seen fire in zero gravity? It's beautiful. It's like liquid, slides all over everything, comes up in waves, and they just kept hitting him, wave after wave." And I'm like, oh my god, that's where this is coming from. Holy cow! Like,
as she's watching more shows and movies, she's like, oh my god, this is where they sampled it from. We were listening to one of the Bonnie M songs.
Oh yeah.
And there's a song in there. Bonnie M is the one who does Rasputin. Yeah. Our kids love it. Right now.
My god,
they're really into it. Okay.
And anyways, that was Doug Sauce, Barbra Streisand. But anyways, so one pumpkin.
Okay, is that what you're giving it?
I don't know. I feel like I have to at least give it 2 pumpkins for the sample.
Okay, 2 for the sample, 1 for the.
Well, and 2.5 for Blades.
Yeah. I'm still gonna keep it at 1. All these things that, put together are equaling the 1 for me. Even the Prodigy being played at the end during the
has already been calculated into the 1 pumpkin.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. But yeah. So if you want to see this movie, just watch these 3 movies instead. Alien, 13 Ghosts, and Hellraiser. Just watch those 3, and it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
And also, if you did watch this and you want to feel better about it, just think of it as they found in the landing configuration at the end, and then you're like, oh my god, it's related.
There you go.
Right. Thank you. See ya. Bye-bye.